I know our conversation will be very helpful. क्या हो गया? Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of Z's in a Pod. Today I have a very special guest with me. I am telling you, this girl is just wonders. I have lived her journey and she is the perfect inspiration for any aspiring entrepreneur and specifically in the jewelry industry. She started her brand in 2020 during lockdown and she was just 19 years old when she started her business. I welcome you, Anushka Jain from Anushka Jain Jewellery. Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much, Rakshita, for having me and for this beautiful introduction. I'm so glad that I'm here.
I was so happy when you said yes to the interview in the first go. Like, I wanted to have someone who I worked with, so I have lived the journey and I'm sharing the correct story with people.
I have seen your work. I know, like, you are so talented, so I would never say no to you.
Thank you, it means a lot. So, I know the story, but can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you started your entrepreneurship journey?
So, I'm from a jewelry background only. My dad deals in emeralds and he's from gem and jewelry industry. And I think my journey started when I was in 10th class. And during just after boards, I knew that I want to do something in commerce, and commerce and business are there. So I want to do something in business only and of my own. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Like, I cannot work under someone, but I can assist people to work under
The business genes that every business family has.
so then just after 12th, I started visited shows of my dad. Like, my dad exhibit in different jewelry show. And I think that Jaipur Jewelry Show was the first exhibition I attended. I did not get into college at that time because there was vacation just after the 12th year. We are waiting for the results. So at that time, I was actually analyzing how it was. He was talking to people, he was making sales, and I was just a statue behind him and was analyzing everything. But I got very much keen, like what it is all about. What I was very interested in this selling business, like in love to sell. And then second show was in Hong Kong. So what happened in Jaipur, everyone knew my dad. But in Hong Kong, there are always new faces.
Yeah.
So I was in upfront position and I was dealing with people. I was selling products. I was selling emeralds. And then I got to know that I want to, and like this is my, I think, plus point that I'm good at sales and I can make sales. So at that time, there was nothing to be specific what kind of jewelry I want to sell, but I wanted to come in entrepreneurship journey of jewelry industry only. So from that, I started and I got into minimalistic jewelry and so on.
So you created something of your own that continues the legacy of your family. This is completely remarkable. So because you have that weight on your shoulder of like the reputation that your family has built, do you think it encourages you more, or what is your point of view on that?
So I would say that my family never put burden on me. It was never like that I have to be in jewelry industry only, or I have to be in a particular type of job or in a particular type of industry. They always supported me, and who I am today is all because my father and my mother and my family, my friends. So I think I carried and like I have a third generation jeweler in my family, but I knew there was a gap in between fine jewelry and very normal fashion jewelry that was in stainless steel or brass. People were not buying, like in India, there was no market of minimalistic jewelry. And like we all have big heavy sets in our family. We just wear it once in a wedding or maybe at a good function, big function, and then we just keep it in locker. So lakhs of rupees are just invested to keep in locker. And I knew that there was a gap. I wanted to create something that I can wear every day, but that is investable too. So I created this silver jewelry and gold jewelry line in a minimalistic way where you can wear it in party, you can wear it when you're going on a date or hanging out with your friends, working at your office or any time. So I knew that this is my self, that I want to wear jewelry, and this is how I started it.
So you started it with something that you wanted, and again, so this is something
That I want to wear on
for sure.
purposes.
So, what were the challenges that you faced in your initial state? Because you started it all by yourself. For sure, you had your family support. But, like, what were the challenges for a young entrepreneur starting during the COVID lockdown?
So I think during lockdown, I did not have any plan. I think this is my major thing. I don't have any plan कि next 1 year के बाद ये मुझे particular achieve करना है. I have consistent plan कि for 1 month I have this, now next month I have that. But that time I did not know that AJJ will start or something like that. I'm just sitting at my home, सबका routine था lockdown में, and I just created a website on Wix because it was very easy. It was free. You just have to purchase, very user friendly. So I created that and I started adding products of emeralds like my dad and heavy jewelry that my dad deals in everything because I don't have any stock of myself or something like that. Then I just created that it didn't have any payment method or something. There was no responses. And I think after 6 months, 7 months, when I analyzed this minimalistic thing that people in India wants to buy, but we were not able to provide them, and especially jewelers, then I can be someone that can provide that luxury to the customers. Then I started this line, but it was obviously, I think that success doesn't happen overnight. You have to take baby steps and small steps. I always believe in small steps. So I got one order of 2,000 rupees, something like that, on my first sale, and I saved up that. And then initially, it started, then 2 orders, 3 orders, and it grew like that. So major, if you talk about difficulties, it happened when people were not able to trust me because I was very young. I was just 19-year-old. They are like, how can she sell fine jewelry or gold jewelry when she's 19 years old? उसको इतना क्या पता होगा? What are the ratings? It was only the thing that I just created one page of AJJ on social media, Instagram, and people were not able to, connect.
Yeah, it takes time to establish authenticity when it comes to real jewelry. And it still was.
Exactly. And we have to explain them why it is little bit expensive than the normal jewelry. Because I'm giving a silver, I'm giving gold. It looks similar like fashion jewelry that deals in brass and stainless steel, but I'm giving you investment with that. So there was a little bit of difficulty for me to communicate that to people. Now the most difficult period of my life and during that age rape thing yet was during lockdown when second wave hit. My dad, my grandma, my dada, me myself got COVID and my mom was the only one who was left. And during that time, I think everyone was at home. Everyone loved shopping online. We were getting huge orders, but no one was there to help me out because everyone, you have to follow protocol that government has given. It was for own safety. So at that time, I was visiting hospital every day. I had to wake up at 8 a.m. I had to click all the pictures of jewelry, put it online, put it on website, edit it, talk to customers. There were times when I woke up at 3 a.m. just by notification on my mobile and I used to DM them. So that was a very difficult phase because I had to balance a lot of things at one go and there was no one with me because I was the sole person. There was one employee, but again, it was work from home. You have to ship parcels from your home at that time.
So you started alone, and with everything that you've learned along the way, what do you think is important of having a good team?
I think that a brand cannot be developed without a team. You have to have a good team. I think that a brand is just like a ladder. Like if you want to climb a ladder, you have to take first step and then second step. Brand is exactly like that. You have to make a groundwork on the first ladder that I have done by myself. Now I have to take second step and I have to trust that person who can take care of the groundwork. So initially you can grow and brand can grow in that way only. And I think that I treat my team very much like my family only. And it's a good thing that in Gen Z, people are not like kind of bossy. They are very friendly. They want to talk. They want their employees to communicate what they are feeling. And I want to tell them that I want this thing, but in a good way. I don't want to be like bossy or something, जो पहले होता था.
True. So how did you come on like a common point? So you have your vision in the mind. How did you communicate that with your team? Because it is important to have like a similar mindset when you're working towards a brand.
So I think this is the main thing I tell to every person who joins AJJ. I have told this to you as well when you were with us. Ki AJJ is just not my brand. When you are in AJJ fam, it's your brand also. So when you have that perspective in your mind, I am working for my brand, then you put your soul, your hard work, your energy, everything to make that work. And we obviously have a little bit of difficulties. We don't agree upon the same thing. But communication is the key for everything. When you construct it, you have to talk. then they will also talk, and through that only a common groundwork and common solution will come.
Yeah. So your name, your brand name, Anushka Jain Jewellery, has your name it. So is it like a reflection of your personality, or the brand is completely different compared to your personality?
No, I think that AJJ is AJ only because I'm feeling that every piece of jewelry that I'm selling, I am attaching my personality to that because I love very minimalistic thing. I cannot wear heavy sets or something like that. I want to stack up. I want to, accessorize myself. So with each and individual pieces that I have curated, it's a very regular pieces. It's just like a daily wear pieces that gives you minimalistic vibe, and it accessorized your look. So it is something with my personality that I resonate with.
So that is something very less we see these days. So I wanted to ask, like, being an entrepreneur sounds very fancy, like you are having something which is entirely your own, but there's a lot of hard work that goes behind it. So how do you manage your work-life balance? Because you yourself are very young, you have a life to live. So how do you manage the work-life balance? Or is it just work for you?
It was just work for me in starting. Like when I started it, I got very much excited. I used to tell my dad कि आज इतनी सेल करी, आज इतनी सेल करी, and I used to stay up late till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. कि मैं सब customers को एक ही दिन में reply कर दूँ. And at that time, धीरे धीरे सही होता है. Then your family tells you that you have to maintain a thin line between your work-life balance and your personal life.
For sure.
So my father was like, ये time you have fixed. You will work from 9 to 6, 7, whatever you feel. But after 7, you don't have to work. But obviously, when you are in that, mode, in that zone, you cannot just not reply back to the customers when you're initially starting it. You have that enthusiasm कि मैं अभी के reply करती थी so that I can make that one more sale. तो आज ही से increase हो जाएगी. धीरे धीरे I have understood it was difficult, and it's not easy to maintain the work-life balance and personal life balance. I think during lockdown, everyone was stuck at home, so it was plus point for me that I either have to do home ka kaam, mama ka help and everything, or I have to do my work and everything. But after lockdown ended, when I think it was 2021 mid or something, I started going out, and gradually when you have that team, you don't have to put that much effort in each and single thing that you have to have conversation with each and every customer. I'm always there. Like if they have a query, they can definitely contact me. Right now, till the date, I don't know how people get my number. They used to send me queries, and I was like, yeah, I am there to help you because it's my brand. I don't want कि मैं ये काम नहीं करूँगी, but to maintain work-life balance and personal life balance, your family and everything. I think the best advice that I can give for example, like me, I woke up early in the morning today, and I just had a very chill morning routine. I just did my skincare. I have a pet, so I played with him a little bit. So at that time, I don't have anything in my during work. Now, when I enter office, obviously there are a lot of things that I have something कि मुझे ये काम करना है. But when you are out of office, then it's your personal time. Go to gym, read a book, spend quality time with your family, play cards, go out with your friends. So this is something that everyone has to do forcefully initially, but then it will eventually be happen.
You will have to rely on people to have that work-life balance.
Difficult. I would say that it's difficult.
For sure, because it's like your own baby.
Exactly. That's why I tell my team that it's my baby, but it's your baby too. So it's difficult to rely, but eventually you get into that.
So you yourself comes from a Generation Z, and the major market that you do is Generation Z's, young people who want to have that investment in their life in terms of minimal jewelry. So what are your views on influencer market? Because I have seen a lot of celebrities, a lot of influencers wearing it, the media coverage that you get. So what are your point of views on influencer marketing when it comes to generating sales and at the same time connecting with the new Gen Z consumers?
So I think that influencer marketing is a huge topic. I even learned it by experienced it. Like there was no proper book from which you can learn. For sure, have to experience it, and something that might work for my brand might not work for some other brand, because you have to see what kind of community you have built and what kind of community someone else brand has built. So something like that. But I think I started when I was a very young entrepreneur, very age was very young. I just DM'd all the influencers. There's no shame in like DM any influencers. I used to send out mails and did not leave any connection. I used to send them mail if they had contact number on their Instagram. I used to text them. I had send them DMs through that. And if you're sending to 10 people, maybe 2 or 3 will respond.
For
Not seeing that कि वो कौन सा content बनाते हैं, कौन सा content generate करते हैं, and if that influencer is worth for your brand, because if they are bringing people from their page to our page, then that people will should see that kind of content on your page as well. Then only your sale will be converted. So I think that influencer marketing has become very diversified now, and there are a lot of influencers that are budding. And specifically for me, it's not necessary that always macro influencer will work. For example, for me, last year I did a major campaign and I spent lakhs of rupees, but it not worked very well. But recently I did a small campaign and spent thousand of rupees and I got a massive conversion. So it's like you have to try. Just think influencer marketing as small steps at a time. Don't spend lack of money in just one.
But do you think like this gen consumers are very smart? They know if the influencer marketing is happening, maybe the brand is paying, or maybe the brand, like the influencer genuinely loves the product. Do you think it helps you in building authenticity?
I think that obviously customers are very smart, but then brand is putting their brain behind what kind of influencer they want to choose. If and for example, I just want to say that influencer is not good अगर उसकी 1 million 2 million followers होते हैं. Influence is good when their conversion rate for a brand, when their engagement for a brand and everything is good. So I don't think that see, for example, if I'm paying a influencer any amount of money, then I specify all my requirements that I want this kind of video. I want it to be very friendly video. For example, you're talking to me, I want to be specified on the products. I want close-up shots of the products. I want you to talk about products and how you feel, because your audience will like your content, and from that it will get on my page, and then it can make a conversion sale.
So the thing that you offer to the influencer is like a brief about the product, but you let them do it in their way so that there's a connection built between the audience and you.
Exactly.
So, like, what were the proudest moments for you? Like, you have had media coverage on almost all the magazines and a lot of celebrities wearing your jewelry. So, what are the key proudest moments for you that was big for AJJ?
So I think there were 2 moments. First one was in 2021, February, something like that. I was at my office and some magazine writer, editor texted me on Instagram that we are featuring you on Vogue. And I was like, oh my god. And I did not know anything about it. So I called my dad and I called him ki aisa ho raha hai. I might get featured. I don't know what is happening. And just after 2 hours, I got a link from her. And I was like 8 labels, like best-selling 8 labels on the radar right now, something like that. And I got so hyped up because it was the first feature, and you can never forget your first. So I was so happy. My Aditi was there at the office, and I was jumping. I was literally jumping. Oh my god, I'm getting featured. I'm like constantly scrolling my phone. I used to send my mom, "Ki mama dekho ye dekho," because it's like the major thing. You're just a small brand. You don't ki when we get this. Obviously, you're aspiring to be a big brand, but you cannot just have a success overnight or maybe get Forbes or something like that. You have to keep working on that, and people will recognize your work and you will get featured. Now, the second biggest event was when I was awarded Best Minimal Jewellery from Governor of Jaipur, Rajasthan, Mr. Kariraj ji. And it was like a massive thing because I did not do anything about it. I just got a text from someone and he said that you're nominated for this thing. I just went to the event show and everything, and I got to know about my award just a day before. And it was my brother's wedding. During that time, I was in Pushkar. On 8th, I was there, and 9th, it was award function. So that was kind of self-appreciating moment for me. Ki yes, I have
Finally,
keep was the recognition level. some recognition has been there for.
So, what are your future plans for AJJ? What's next for you?
So, if I talk about my future plans for AJJ, if you talk, like if you ask me that what are your next year plans or next to next year, I would say I don't know. But if you ask me like what are your plans for 6 months, then I have a proper label for that. So currently, AJJ is building more on social media, more on website, e-commerce platform. We since the lockdown is not there, thank God COVID has shut. People want to feel and see your product. So sure, I'm hoping that we will open a store very soon in Jaipur, then slowly in Delhi and Mumbai. Because why not? I would spread my
Obviously, and having your own store,
exact.
and when it comes to jewelry, people want to see it. So I really like your journey in terms of it has seen the ups and it has seen the downs as well. You have now you're at a stage where you've analyzed what works for you, what is the things that what are the things that you should follow and how you should move forward. So what are the three advice that you would like to give to young entrepreneurs who want to get into the jewelry business? Because obviously India, like Jaipur is one of the biggest hub for jewelry. So, what are the three advice that you would like to give to aspiring jewelers?
So I think the first advice that I would give is if there's another place for another clothing line, another cafe, then there's definitely place for another jewelry brand because you are selling your product in your unique way. There are millions of people in this world, and you won't know which person will purchase your product. So you can definitely start it and don't worry about the competitors or the first mover advantage or something. If your product is good, if your quality is good, people will buy it. Something like that. Second advice I would give is that never think that you have achieved everything because there's a lot of things that you have not achieved yet. Even me myself, I don't think like I'm a successful business entrepreneur, female is in this thing. Obviously, you can appreciate yourself, but there's always the next step. So for sure, moving forward. And the last advice I would give is sun and moon both shine at their own time. You cannot expect moon to shine in morning. You cannot expect sun to rise at night. So there's always your time when God has its plan. You just have to believe it.
I hope our conversation will be very inspirational for a lot of young jewelry entrepreneurs. I would love to see you next year once you open a store.
Thank you so much, Akshita, for having me and for this wonderful conversation. I hope that I have given something important for all the audience who is watching this.
Thank you guys for watching it. I hope this video added value to your life.